In this video, I'm going to talk about the maximum print count variables, what they're used for, and how you can actually make use of them in your events. So, into settings, we look at printers. Now, the print count variables are here. There are two of them. There's this one here, which is the maximum print count variable. Now, let's say you've got a printer that's got maybe a die sub that's got a printer roll on it, and it can take a maximum number of prints. So there's 400, for example, on a roll. So I've entered 400 into there, and I'm going to restrict. You don't have to restrict, but I'm going to restrict the number of prints that RightBooth can make. So that's what that's for. Now here is the current print count. So you can see that so far I have made 24 prints off this roll. Now this value is it's not specific to a printer, it's just specific to RightBooth making a print. So it can happen every time that RightBooth prints something, it will increment this value by 1. Now obviously if you change your printer roll, you're going to want to reset this back to 0 so that RightBooth knows that there are actually 400 prints remaining. So that's what these two variables are for. So how do you make use of them in your events? Well, that's where text variables come in. So I'll just go into this event. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new label. And this label, I want to show the user the current print count, which is 24. So let's edit this. So I'm going to call it the printer roll count. Now I'm going to enter a text variable. To do that, you start with a curly brace, and then you need to look in the manual, but the printer roll count is actually this current print count, and it's all uppercase. Then you close that off with another curly brace, and as you can see, RightBooth has dug into the settings. It's found that the current print count is 24, and it's showing it here. Now you can use this variable, this label on any of your screens or any event, and it will always show the value from settings. And each time RightBooth makes a print, this value will increment by 1. Now let's add another label. This time I'm going to show the number of prints that are remaining on the roll. So I'll just say something like number of prints remaining. This is a different text variable, and it is open curly brace, remaining print count, close curly brace. And here you can see that RightBooth has added 376. Now that is 400 from settings minus the current the current print count, which is 24. 400 minus 24 is 376. So again, each time RightBooth prints, you'll find that this value goes up and this value drops. Now, because I've ticked the maximum print count checkbox in settings, what will happen is when this drops to 0, RightBooth will no longer perform any prints. So you can literally stop people from printing when the print count gets down to 0. And that's an option. If you don't tick the checkbox in settings, RightBooth will carry on printing. So I hope that helps.